And here we go with a new episode of the Sloth Doctors. I am Dr. Chip.
I'm Dr. Bob.
I have no idea what we're going to talk about today. Do you have any subjects you'd like to bring up?
Well, I figured since we're at war now, we should probably talk
that's
about
right.
that.
We are day 15 of the 12-day war.
Yeah. That's moving along nicely.
Yes.
You want to tell our listeners and viewers what the plan is for the 12-day?
What's
or
that?
for the 15-day?
I don't know what do you mean?
The list of countries?
But what do you...
Didn't you say we had a list of countries we're supposedly...
Well, yeah, Iran's the last one
Right.
on the well, I don't know.
I didn't know if you wanted to list the ones that we've already knocked out.
Oh, yeah, well, there's Afghanistan, Syria, Iraq. What are all the rest of them?
I thought Sudan,
Afghanistan.
Yemen, and Afghanistan, yep.
Yeah, we didn't really take Yemen out. But, yeah, I mean, that's the old, the Wesley Clark, exposed the memo of... But really, we should talk about what you showed me today, which I didn't really understand the demographic of.
Oh, okay, we can talk about that.
That's
All
just
right.
like, holy shit. Well, all right, that makes sense now. Because I was thinking, why aren't, what's the joke I made is, gosh, those Iranians are going to get so bad that they're going to make the Saudis do another 9/11.
Yeah, that's a pretty, that's funny on several different levels. And
But
sad to boot.
you pointed out the reason why.
The reason why, I'm not sure if this is the reason why, but it certainly seems to be a strong correlation. I was just doing a little, Googling and quick little Wikipedia searches, not even digging that deep. And what got me on the subject of this is as I was watching us bomb Iran and all of the news footage and coverage about the nuclear facilities and everything, I started asking questions to myself about, well, how many countries have nuclear? How many countries have nuclear power? How many countries have nuclear weapons? What are the difference between those? The ones that have have nuclear power or nuclear weapons, how many of those countries enrich their own uranium? And then a picture starts appearing, and it just gets more and more odd the more you look at it. The only Muslim nation on Earth that has nuclear weapons is Pakistan. Right? And so that led me down the rabbit hole. Well, how come that seemed to not bother anybody? Nobody made any concerted effort to prevent that from happening. They did it in 22 years. They did it in a remarkably short period of time from when Pakistan achieved independence in 1947, which, funnily enough, the year before India got independence. So they actually had a one-year head start. India has nuclear weapons and nuclear power as well. But again, going back to the Muslim countries that have it, the only nuclear weapons in a Muslim country are in Pakistan. And then I started thinking about, well, why are we so... And again, if Pakistan was capable of doing this in 22 years... Iran has had nuclear power, nuclear reactors that we gave them in 1967. They've had over 60 years to do it, and they've not managed to do it.
Well, here's the thing. I mean, they've been, a year to 3 years away from the nuclear bomb for 20 years. So at this point, they either have it, and we don't know about it, or they just don't want it.
Right, and that is one of the points to bring up too. Is yes, they've had 3 times the amount of times that Pakistan has had, and yet they've not yet developed it. But at the same time, if you look at motivation or what it looks like on the ground, when you look at where uranium enrichment sites are, no other countries put their uranium enrichment sites in mountains and underground. So that it does appear that there could be some subterfuge or some obfuscation of the facts. But then again, the other countries weren't being threatened that they couldn't have these things, so they didn't have the need to put them necessarily underground.
And also, I should point out the fact that in the media, especially, I've noticed they've started calling Iranians Persians.
Persians, yeah.
Instead of Arabs.
Right. Well, they are. They do differ from most of the Middle East in 2 primary regards. One, ethnically, they are Persians. And in fact, they don't use Arabic. They use Farsi. They use the language that they've always had. But more importantly, they're Shia Muslims, not Sunni Muslims.
Yeah, that's the thing that amazes me.
And when you look at a
map
of Shia Muslims on a map, the only country you see that is entirely Shia Muslim is Iran. And then when you look at the other hotspots in the Middle East where that color green appears on the particular map we looked at, there are the fundamentalist Islamic terrorist groups. Yeah. They're the Houthis in Yemen. They're Hezbollah. They're the little group in Syria. And so in Pakistan, Sunni Muslims. So it seems as though... it's not that we don't want Shia groups / countries to have nuclear weapons. Yeah. Right? And for anybody...
The Shia. The singular.
Primarily. And then, the little groups that have influence in other countries as well.
They're all basically proxies of Iran.
Indeed they are. And for anyone that would think, well, how could such a little sect, a little schism, cause such a huge divide? Look at Ireland.
Yeah,
I mean, Christians had no problems blowing each other up when it's Catholics versus Protestants.
And not even so much that it's really that big of a divide as much as they're just like, yeah, whatever. We don't care about the Shias. Do whatever you want to them. Just
Right.
leave the Sunnis alone. And so who knows? I mean,
their primary divide, from what I've been able to gather, is just the descendants after Muhammad who would be in charge of Islam. Who would be the head of the church or the head of the faith.
Much about Islam, but it is some kind of ancient biblical divide.
All of the Sunnis basically really support the Quran and the Sunnah and the Hadiths and what's written down, whereas the Shias place far more importance on actual figures, leaders, ayatollahs. These are imams that are granted exceptional
and maybe take
power.
a little different interpretation of the Quran, like more of a radical, violent.
They do tend to be more radical. If you look at some of the names of the Shia groups, you see names like the Order of Assassins and the Brotherhood Muslims or Warrior Society.
Now, that being said, I mean, we may not know, but I mean, the majority of Iranians might not be that radical, as far as we know. They could have a misrepresentative government, much like ours. They could
have a and it's funny that you bring that up. It's a little euphemism or a phrase, a self-soothing action, perhaps that most societies love to do. But how often do you see, whenever we have a conflict with another nation, always the sentiment is expressed, we have nothing against the Iranian people. Yeah, it's the regime. We have nothing. The Chinese people are great. It's the CCP. At what point do you have to own up to any sort of responsibility? Yeah. I mean,
we're getting nothing against them to death.
Right. The people in the party that makes up this regime / government / program or whatever it is, those people came from within that country. They are their citizens. And yet at the same time, if you look at, America, if Trump does something that, the people that all Democrats didn't agree with, and they've clearly, but at the same time in America, we try to be patriotic. And once a president wins, we're like, well, we have to support him because he is our president. Do we not assume that other nations do the same thing? Even though the fundamentalists are not in charge, but they are our leaders, so we have to support them.
Right. And obviously not all the people have that sentiment.
No, of course not all of them do. But yeah. Like Tucker, I don't want to kill anyone right after, but we should just drop a bomb on them. That's going to kill quite a few of them.
Oh, and, now we have officially had an American president intentionally drop the F-bomb.
Yeah.
The big, I didn't want to drop the real bomb, so I just dropped the F-bomb. They don't know what the F they're doing.
Yeah, that is historical. Yeah. I mean, we thought it was odd enough that presidents and world leaders send tweets to each other telling them what they're going to do and what they just did and smack talk, but now dropping F-bombs live on air, that's good too.
So there's clearly becoming a rift between Trump and Israel, which, obviously, since he's trying, they've already, I heard Alex Jones, which, you can take his reliability with it, in mind, but he was saying that Trump knew about the first strike the Israelis did, that while he was negotiating, he was negotiating in bad faith. He knew that, I'm just distracting you, then they're going to hit you.
Longshanks. Braveheart. The Irish have already been assembled.
Yeah. So, but the second one, I mean, I guess apparently, or like, he declared it over, and then I guess it went. You know what? I bet you this is. The one time I don't turn my phone off.
We just talked about this outside. Nobody ever calls you.
Oh God, I can't talk to him. But what was I just saying?
Nobody ever calls you.
But anyway, so we're talking about Iran and about the rift developing between Trump and apparently they had 24 hours or 12 hours or something like that. Each side had a different amount of time to finish up their bombing. And then apparently Israeli just went, oh, okay, we got 24 hours and just bombed the crap out of them. So apparently Trump was pissed about that.
Yeah, it's almost reminiscent of the old days when news would take so long to travel that wars would, battles would still be being fought because they didn't know that somebody had signed a peace. But now there's no excuse for that.
It's like, all right,
goes out immediately.
You got 12 hours of bombing left. That's
is that Eastern Standard Time or?
Yeah, exactly. It's so crazy. And when you think about it, I mean, The crazy radical Islamic people that represent Iran as a government, I mean, they can't. There's no way that the people of Iran actually feel that way. At least not a majority, I would think. Because, I mean, the majority of the people in this country certainly don't want us attacking Iran. Not that we have much to do with it. It's really our boss is Israel's, telling us to. But I mean, there's polling saying like 80% of the American people are like, no, what are we doing? Let's leave them alone. Let Israel deal with it, And clearly we're not being represented. So, there's the chances that they are being represented by radical Islamists. Probably not. Probably the average Iranian's probably like, hey, man, I got to get to work. I'm late for work.
The difference between the mindset of nation states and the mindsets of individuals, it can't be overemphasized. I mean, the whole concept of taking preemptive action against a perceived threat is not something that an individual is legally in a civil society can do. If you knew somebody on your block that had beef with you, but they were out of shape, and they told you, you're an asshole. I'm going to beat the shit out of you. I'm going to take boxing lessons. I'm going to the gym. Right. And as soon as I can, I'm coming back here and I'm going to beat the hell out of you. Does that mean you're legally allowed to go shoot their boxing instructor, burn down their gym, prevent them from getting strong? Or do you have to wait and see if they follow? Yeah, exactly. Or wait and see and follow through once they actually do something.
It's kind of crazy. But, that's where, Michael Malice is, I'm telling you, he's got something with that whole anarchy thing. Just get rid of all the governments. Say, that's it. You're out. Done.
Have nothing but trade organizations?
I gotta really study up more on his doctrine, because when people bring up stuff like that, he's always got an answer. He's like, oh, what you do, this is what you do. And I'm not that versed. I can do the libertarian talking points,
right,
but not so much the anarchists. Once you get into like, oh, no rules or government whatsoever, to like, well, no, there'll be rules.
Yeah, see, I feel like even when an anarchist says that eventually they are going to fall back upon some sort of structure for something, for trade, or there has to be something.
Well, apparently the whole idea is that everything's privatized, and it's like everything is a consensual business, transaction, and so. I don't know. He's much better at explaining it to me. That's why he's Michael Malice.
Right. Well, that's pretty much all he ever talks about. So I mean, that's his thing.
That's not true. He talks about all kinds of stuff. Truthfully, he's a male underwear model.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a good gig if you can get it.
I think one of his sponsors, one of those. I think a bunch of those guys with podcasts have a sponsor with some brand of underwear. What the hell is it? Not Sheaths. That's the wallet, right?
Yeah. No, Ridge is.
Oh, maybe
wallet,
it is Sheaths underwear. Or something
sounds like it would be.
And apparently these guys all push the underwear, and they say it's great, which of course they're paid to do. So who knows whether it really is or not? But
another interesting thing I stumbled across when I was doing all this very minor research. So I don't want to do too much research because it kind of defies the whole point of our show and being lazy.
Yeah, right.
But going back to Iran and Pakistan and their nuclear programs, Iran had a program in 1957 and a reactor in 1967. So they had a pretty good head start as compared to Pakistan. Pakistan was 72 to 98 was when they pulled it off. They started the program in 72, and in 98 they actually tested weapons. But what I found interesting is that the independence of Pakistan, which again, a year before India, so that was 1947, which was done by Britain. Britain released them.
Oh, Britain was Pakistan and India.
Yes, yeah.
For some reason, I thought China or something.
They had control of colonies. Both of those were colonies of Britain. But then if you look at when did Britain found or helped fund the creation of the State of Israel, and that's 1948. Right. So in 2 years, Britain created two countries that are now, both have nuclear weapons. Both, I mean, Pakistan's not as much in the news, but if you've ever watched the ceremonial guard exchange between India and Pakistan, it's pretty clear there's some tensions there.
And not only that, they are flexible people.
Indeed.
I mean,
they take goose stepping to an entirely new level.
I mean, they get the feet back behind their head doing that thing. It's like, oh my Lord.
The stomp, all of their ankles have to be shattered. Just the way they bring their feet down.
Well, I'm sure they you got to train to do that from childhood. There's no way you just start doing that. And
so they're one of the best crescent kicks I've ever seen. With shiny shoes on to boot.
Axe kick somebody right in the head doing that. With that, you're gonna do some damage. Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, so thanks Great Britain for birthing these two problems onto the world within a year of each other.
Well, and a lot of people still think that Britain kind of secretly runs the world. Not through like secret Freemason shit, stupid shit like that. Which I don't know. Who knows? Skull and crossbones. Who knows who they're loyal to? Who knows?
Yeah.
So I wanted to take a lighter path for a moment on the.
Sure.
Have you ever watched? And I guess the reason I kind of want to do this is by the time this comes out, it might actually be even more topical. But they're doing the NBA Finals now, right? So have you ever seen the players showing up for the finals?
No, I don't really watch a lot of team sports.
It's turned into kind of like a weird fashion runway thing.
They're not in uniform?
No. I'm talking about when they show up to the stadium.
Oh.
And then there'll be like cameras as they walk in, like from their car into the stadium.
Oh.
But
yeah, I've never seen that.
Well, dude, it's just turning into one of those comical fashion runway things. Like you remember the red carpet for like that Hollywood thing where Jaden Smith was wearing they're getting like
building on his head.
Yes, they're getting like crazy like that. Like some of these guys show up like, what the hell is this? Is this guy just coming from a P. Diddy party or something? What the hell's going on?
Nobody should ever ask an athlete on their way to the game, what are you wearing? What do they always say, who are you wearing?
Well, the thing that made me even think about this, just the other day, I saw, they showed a clip of this guy saying, he's showing up for the finals. And the guy looked literally like he had just come off the street as a heroin addict, had like a ripped T-shirt and baggy shorts or whatever, the jean shorts, all ripped.
Heroin chic, they call it.
Yes, absolutely heroin chic, but with a giant neon green furry bag.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like, I guess that's some kind of fashion statement of some sort.
Is this meant to intimidate the opposing team?
I don't know.
Those guys are so well dressed today. We're going to get our asses handed to us.
I think it's just some weird like Zoolander fashion people,
right. Or just
have weaseled their way into the NBA.
Yeah, just another revenue stream.
Yes,
somehow
it's wild.
Incorporating fashion into
so
sport.
Literally, by the time this comes out, it should be right around the time of the NBA Finals. If you guys get a chance to check out the fashion show of, and you know what, I could picture Ozzy Man doing something.
Yeah. In a lighter way, fashion and sports have always kind of been linked because the athletes sell shoes and certain, athletic shirts and,
I guess.
swimwear and goggles and things like that. So, but as far as high fashion, if that's what you would call that.
Well, that's the thing. It's like,
I would call it that because I would say you'd have to be high to wear some of the things you just described.
And some of the stuff these guys like on the red carpet is just so ridiculously, it's not practical. It's like, why? There's no reason for you to be wearing that other than that walk from the car into the thing.
Now, what if they made them play? And whatever it is they showed up in. Now you might be onto something.
That would be hilarious.
Do two games. Good. One in actual basketball.
What you could do is you could get other guys that afterwards that watched them walk in and watched the fashion show, put on the same outfits, and then they go try to play.
Right. You realize this is all just devolved back into the Prince and Charlie Murphy basketball game.
Oh,
where they did not take off their club clothes and proceeded to beat the shit out of them.
Yeah, that's true. That would be hilarious if somebody came out dressed like that and the other team had jerseys and shorts on and
skins versus blouses. Blouses win.
Blouses win. Oh, that's hilarious too. Yeah. I forgot about the whole Prince playing basketball. Yeah, they're
taken from us far too soon. R.I.P. Charlie Murphy.
Yeah, and Prince.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's right, Charlie Murphy. What happened to Charlie Murphy? How did he die?
I don't remember. I think it was some kind of illness or something. I don't think it was like murder or any kind of mysterious causes. But honestly, I don't remember.
Eddie's kicking fine. He even looks good, man.
He does look good. Yeah.
Looks as good as the day he was doing frickin' Beverly Hills. A little thicker, maybe. That's about it. He looks amazing. He was one. I mean, when you think about the days of like the Mr. Rogers Neighborhood. He was one funny MFer, man. He was hilarious.
Right. We were just referencing one of his old skits when we were talking about Piscopo in the car the other day with the Frank Sinatra and the Stevie Wonder skit. Yeah. Probably the funniest thing Piscopo ever did in his entire career.
Yeah, Hey, we got a visitor. Hey, on.
Hey.
Yeah, he was pretty hilarious.
So yeah, Charlie Murphy died from leukemia. I just looked it up.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now, is that something hereditary?
I don't know.
It's a blood cancer, right?
I think that's a simple way of explaining it, but yeah, I do believe that it is, and I think it's somehow related to lupus. I think they're in the same family of diseases, but
And how do you get lupus?
don't know. The only reason I even know, like,
Come on, Dr.
The scant
Bob.
bit that I did is because the diseases that my mom had, she was told that they were in the same.
What's the one you get
those
from
were
the
autoimmune
ticks?
diseases. That's Lyme disease.
Oh, okay, that's different.
Yeah,
At least they know where that comes from.
yeah. Well, they know how the carrier of it, where it actually comes from, is still up for debate.
Oh, well, what do you mean? It's like a...
I mean, the conspiracy theory that it was, bioengineered. You've not heard that one?
No, for Lyme disease?
Yeah, yeah.
Hasn't Lyme disease just always been around, or did it appear at a certain
I think it just
time?
kind of appeared, or it may have always been around and then suddenly got, much more aggressive or much more pronounced, more stories about it.
Huh.
But yeah, I'd heard that. I never dive deep into it, but I have heard that.
And what does Lyme disease do to you again?
I think it's kind of like chronic fatigue syndrome. I think it just wears you down.
Yeah, or
wears
just
down your
maybe
immune
makes your
system.
joints ache or something like that.
Possibly, like rheumatoid arthritis. Yeah,
I don't know.
million
Yeah,
ways
sure.
for the human body to go wrong.
Yeah, that's true. Which, I mean...
And yet we just watched a video yesterday about an 11-year-old that fell 10,000 feet and landed on a fire or a bullet ant mound or something. You remember that we were just watching that yesterday? Every now and again, a human being will just survive the most ridiculous amount of catastrophe, and then somebody will die in a war falling off their horse. There's just no rhyme or reason to it.
True. I don't remember a kid falling. I remember the bullet. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it was the video that we were talking about. They were talking about the bullet ants. Some 11-year-old girl that fell because they were trying to figure out how many miles 10,000 feet was, which is just under 2.
Why did I not catch the part about the girl falling out of 10,000 feet? What happened?
I don't know why. We were both watching the same thing, but
Well, I wasn't paying that much attention.
Yeah.
I often put stuff on just to have something on in the background, and I assume it's actually subconsciously going in there. I'm sure if you hypnotized me, I could tell you exactly what they were talking about.
osmosis.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, the NBA thing. That's it's. I mean, I don't assume it's going to stop. It's probably only going to get more and more of a thing.
It's the first time you've seen it, or is this an ongoing?
No, it's been kind of getting. It's been rolling a little more and more each year. I think they started like I think Barkley started showing up in like a suit, right? Back in the day, and before that, everybody would just show up whatever. And then I think Barkley and a few of them would start dressing up kind of nice. And then I guess it just kind of morphed into whatever every fashion thing morphs into, which is just complete ridiculous.
That'd be cool to watch a basketball game where everybody's wearing a full suit.
That'd be interesting.
Grab somebody by the tie, you foul them, yoke them to the ground.
Well, you can't. I don't think that's a foul. I don't think you're allowed to grab anybody by the. I don't know. I don't play basketball. I sucked at basketball. I was good at rebounding and long shots, and that was 3-pointers, and that was about it. I couldn't pass, couldn't dribble. Not good. You ever play basketball?
I mean, in high school when it was part of the PE curriculum, but no, I never did it recreationally. Too short.
Well, I mean, didn't you have like neighborhood kids that you played games with, like football and?
Yeah, but we didn't. But it was never that. It was either football
basketball
or street hockey, or smear the queer, or just throw the football up in the air and beat the hell out of somebody who catches it.
My block, one of the kids had a little basketball hoop set up, but it was really short. Like even as kids, we could almost slam dunk. It was only like maybe, God, I want to say probably like 6-8 feet at the most.
Yeah, the ones at my school were the elementary school that was near the house back then I think they were 8 feet. So I had a couple of friends that would go play basketball, but yeah, we mostly played street hockey or football.
Street hockey?
Yeah, with a ball instead of a puck.
Really?
Yeah.
See, I would never. I don't even know the rules of hockey.
We probably didn't know them either. I mean, you know what I mean? It's not like we had a full set of equipment or anything.
There's not really probably any rules involved
it was
at all.
basically an excuse to try to make a goal and also hit each other with sticks.
Yeah, the only thing we ever played in the street was football. Matter of fact, when I was a kid, we actually took white paint and kind of like painted out a football field on the street with like hash marks and 10, well, not, it wasn't 10 yards, but blocked into 10 sections of first down sections or whatever.
And we never once did we even think to play soccer. It just wasn't. It was so unpopular when I was a kid. It was just.
Yeah, no.
And I get why it's popular all over the world, especially in developing nations, because it's the cheapest sport you can play. All you need is space and a ball and people.
True.
You don't need any special equipment. You can do it with no shoes.
Yeah, but the problem is if you just get a bunch of kids together and go play soccer, none of them really know what to do, and they just run around kicking the ball when it's like, no, you got to dribble and pass. And,
well, yeah, but if,
and
so
kids
something to do, it wears them out.
Whenever we
played
soccer as kids, it was just like, hey, there's the ball, kick it. Which way? Okay, that way.
I mean, the parents don't have to spend money on skates and sticks and pads and helmets and cleats and,
Same thing with football, though. You don't need much with football.
Well, to do it safely, you need a little bit more.
Yeah, if you're playing
semi-safely,
pads and stuff. But we never played with pads.
And
I remember once
we didn't play tackle football in the streets. I mean, we weren't lunatics.
We did.
We played a very aggressive. Push. You're right. Push somebody down, but no, like dragging people to the ground.
Not only did we play tackle football on the street, it was one of the worst if you were running down the sideline and somebody pushed you into a hedge.
Yeah.
That was like, oh, shit.
We got in trouble with a couple of neighbors for pushing people into cars. We took a side mirror off one time, and that was bad. Yeah,
that's no. Now, I don't think anybody parked on our street.
First time, when was the first time in your life you had the wind knocked out of you? I'm assuming it was as a child.
God, I couldn't tell you.
What makes me think of it is the whole side mirror, because I distinctly remember the first time it ever happened to me. But no one warns kids that this is a thing that can even happen, right? And if you can't breathe, your first thought is you're going to die. I thought I was dying. I think everybody thinks they're dying the first time. Riding my bike down the street with my buddies, and we're like chasing each other, so I was looking back to see how close they were getting to me. As soon as I looked forward, one of those big Ford F-150s with the giant side, mirror sticking out, right in the chest, took me right off the bike, landed flat on my back on the pavement, and completely out of the wind,
I'm pretty sure this knocked the wind out of me, but I remember once, and of course this is back in the day with the big banana seat, big handle bikes, like that. Mm-hmm. And I was going down the street really fast. Yeah, going really, really fast down the street, and there was a trash pile, basically like palm fronds and stuff, a big trash pile of stuff, and it looked like I'd be able to just jump this trash pile. So I'm coming at it with my bike and go to jump and my bike just went straight into it and stopped. And my nads hit that little cross section where the handlebars and oh my God, my nads hit that thing so hard. I'm sure I was out of breath.
Nards.
Yeah, it was bad, man. It was like, oh my Lord, that hurt. And it was like, okay, that wasn't smart.
Yeah, that's more than any kind of sports in the street. We mostly just rode bikes. We
did a lot of. We used to skateboard down our street had just enough slope. You could go up to the end of the street and get on a skateboard and just kind of like one push and then just all the way down the street.
Nice.
Nice. And of course, this is back in Canoga Drive where you got everybody had a pretty steep driveway you could go down. And we used to, back in those days, you'd have one of those Red Ryder wagons. And, you get in one of those and try to make it down the driveway and make the curve onto the street and you end up busting your butt.
We also spent a lot of time catching lizards. I was like a very popular pastime, catching lizards, building horrible little, what you would call a terrarium now, what was actually a mason jar with a couple of holes punched in top. And if they were lucky, you'd throw a few blades of grass down there to give them a taste of home, They never lasted very long. We weren't exactly very smart about it. We're no Steve Irwins, but we liked them. They were everywhere.
Yeah, I didn't really.
And also, it's funny now, kids like paintballs and stuff like that. We used to have legit BB gun wars.
Oh, yeah.
We would just shoot each other with pellet guns, BB guns. In fact, the pellets were kind of uncool. The pellets would actually break the skin.
You can't.
You really couldn't do that.
Well, it depends how many times you pump it, but yeah, it is.
Right. You try to do it in the winter. It's not that it gets that cold down here, but at least then you can wear long sleeves.
Dude, we used to make like these tennis ball cannons. You ever seen one of those things?
Yeah, with a PVC pipe.
No, we made them out of. Well, we made them out of back then. Before there were the shitty cans. Back then, you had tin cans.
You can do Pringles cans too if you tape them together.
Oh yeah, okay. I didn't know if those were because back in the day,
only
the tin
last
cans,
a shot or two before they.
I was going to say, because back in the day, you could take about tin cans from like Coke cans, take about 4 or 5 of them, hollow them out, tape them together, leave the last one and put a little hole in it and stuff. And we used to just use alcohol.
Okay.
And just put some alcohol in there, and dude. But one time,
we used to do PVC pipe and hairspray.
Yeah, same thing. But one time, you know where the Armory is there at Howard Park?
Yeah.
One time we were fucking around. That was our playground, was Howard Park and that whole area back in there. And one time we fucking took this thing and it made a pretty loud little boom when it went off. And we stuck the rear end of it into the door of that Armory and lit it off. Dude, I never seen, and it was, normally there was nobody at the Armory and the door was shut, but for whatever reason, the door was open and there was somebody in there that day, and about 2 or 3 guys came running out after we did that. We're stupid kids. We're not thinking,
right. You made them permanently deaf.
Well, no, I don't think it was that bad, but it's like, yeah, they have weapons in there.
Yeah, let's fire something off in here. That's why they call it an armory.
Yeah, it's like, let's make something sound like a grenade just went off in there. And then, these guys came running out. It was like, but we used to play freaking football in that little front grass thing. And
right. I had one cousin that was just a lunatic. He had Tourette's. And so he was medicated. And I'm not sure whether the medication is what helped make him so bold and risk taking. But I watched him one day. Remember, you know what a green machine is? You know what a big wheel is?
Oh, yeah,
right?
okay.
Okay, so a green machine is
I know exactly
similar to a big wheel, but it's got 4 wheels, and it sits really, really low to the ground.
It's got 4 wheels? I thought it was like a big wheel. It had 3
No,
wheels.
I think it had 4. But anyway, you sit really low to the ground. It's got these 2 levers that you pull. So
that's how you steer.
It makes you do a lot of spin outs, not burnouts, because it's pedaling it. My cousin Joshua tried to ride that thing under a truck because he thought he could make it. It was one of those, jacked up pickup trucks.
Oh.
He almost made it. I don't know what it is that he didn't make it through, though, but something literally just sliced the top of his head right open as he went underneath it and stopped him. And he had to wedge himself back out, and just scalp wounds are vicious. Same kid.
They bleed a lot. Yeah,
same kid once, I watched him attempt to do some kind of stuntman maneuver. We went on our way to his house, and his mom was getting ready to leave. And he wanted to go with her, and I guess she was just trying to get some errand done. She had her back window down. It was tiny little, like a Toyota Tercel. They don't even make those anymore. He tried to jump in through the back window. He missed. He just racked his head and his neck on the side and crumpled there next to the side of the car. Yeah, he was a wild man. We used to wrestle in the yard, and my grandfather had a built-in sprinkler system that he was real proud of. And we knew where all the sprinkler heads were, and like that. You wanted to play heel, we didn't have folding chairs or whatever, but you could pick somebody up and slam them on one of those sprinkler heads, make sure that thing hit them right in the small of the back or something. I had many scratches and scrapes and scars from those things.
Did it break him when you did that thing?
Yeah, it pissed him off to no end. He hated for kids to. He was just like a curmudgeon. He hated for kids to play in his yard. So
if you're breaking it, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, he hated it before that. You know what I mean? So he would set the set the timer to go off so that
he fired the first salvo.
Yeah, basically he threw down the gauntlet, and all the kids on the street were like accepted, no problem.
That's it. We're gonna.
He was from the older generation, a little crude, He never graduated. I think 5th grade was as far as he went. And then started working in the mountains of Tennessee. They used to use mules to pull logs, and they still do in some places.
Wait, is this legal?
Yeah. Well, back then.
How long? This is when we were kids, right?
No, my grandfather, when he was a child.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Because he served in World War II, so this was back in the 30s, during the Great Depression. So basically, any work you could get, you took it. Gotcha. But he was doing the job that mules do, helping to pull logs out of the woods. Lied about his age, joined the army, and then flew, I think, 35 missions over Germany. Came back, became a plumber, helped build power plants and stuff, but never made it past the 5th grade. Had a lot of interesting ideas and crude solutions to things. We had well water for the sprinklers.
Well, no, wait. He must have at least learned how to read and stuff like that, because you can't. I don't think you could be in a bomber without being at least being able to read.
He could read, but not well at all. And the reason I know this is because my great grandmother, his mother-in-law, She lost her sight, and she would be over at the house all the time. And she used to love to read the newspaper. And of course, she was blind now. She never learned Braille, and they didn't have it on tape at the time. So he would read the newspaper to her, and he would slaughter the pronunciations of certain words. So much so that it became a running joke in the family. And now we still say these words incorrectly, just as in honor of him. The thing that you swallow is your esophagus. A young boy around the age of 12 might enter puberty, at which point he would be an adolescent.
Yeah, I guess if you've never heard the words...
A spicy jalapeno pepper. One of my personal favorites is there's a road in West Palm Beach called Florida Mango. All right. Now the abbreviation for Florida is capital F, capital L. It used to be FLA, period.
Right.
That used to be the abbreviation. Much like California used to be CALIF. And I had friends down here that used to say that means come and live in Florida. I mean, they're trashing California. Shit, I lost my train of thought. Florida Mango. So there's Florida Mango Road. The abbreviation for the street sign is FLA.Mango.
Right.
And to him, it was Flamingo Road. He always referred to it as that.
I'm surprised he didn't just say flamingo and just go with that.
No, he went with the A, Flamingo. He used to drive a van that it looked like a rape van. Like it was one of those white vans, no windows. Obviously, and it had no window in the back at all either. So there was no way of looking out. There was no rear view, and just the side mirrors. And I'll never forget as a kid, he tells me, he goes, I just go real slow, and if I hear a horn, then I know somebody's there. And that was how he changed lanes. I learned how to drive in one of those Econoline frickin' vans. 3 on the tree. Yeah. We used to go to swap meets. He was always trying to make, he was entrepreneurial. He was always trying to find a way to make a quick buck, and he wrote a jingle once for some soda company that was like, and I can't remember the wording of it, but he was real proud of that. He won some contest for that. He created an LLC for himself, and he just picked a name like out of nowhere. It was called Lowatco Enterprises, and he thought that sounded like something official. LOWATCO, Lowatco Enterprises. And he used to buy these.
Sounds like American Indian to me.
Yeah, he used to buy these like cast resin lamps that were like, some of them looked like wizards, some of them were like mermaids or whatever. They were kind of cool looking. He would take them to the swap shop up in Stewart to sell them. And he would lie through his teeth anytime somebody asked him I make them. And if there's no way, he didn't know how to even describe what the material that they were made out of. And but that's
going to question it. Oh, you made it? Okay.
In one of the other pods, we were talking about country music, and I said I had to listen to Marty Robbins on those rides, and that was the guy that forced me to listen to Marty Robbins. And he would wrap hot dogs and hamburgers in aluminum foil and put them under the hood on the engine block and cook them on the engine block. And by the time we got there, we'd eat them. And of course, they taste a little bit of gas, but it's good for you. Builds character.
A little bit of oily taste, no big deal. That guy, Frank on the American Pictures used to do that. He did that a couple episodes. Stuff
it works. It does work.
But he did it like almost like gourmet stuff, like a fish with a frickin' mango aioli or some shit like that, cooked in, hot dogs.
I don't think Papa ever ate fish. I don't think I've ever, maybe tuna fish out of a can,
Dude.
But he ate some hillbilly one of his favorite snacks was take a glass, put some stale cornbread in it that was from the day or two before, chop up half of a white onion, put that in it, and then fill the glass with buttermilk and eat it with a spoon. Just, buttermilk as an ingredient in like biscuits or something, I get it, but just eating it, his breath afterwards would be fucking unbelievable.
Who would even think of putting those things together?
He grew up in the Depression. I'm sure he had several things that these were the 3 things left in the house, put them together and eat them.
But I do have to say, I can't believe I ate a date and liked it.
It was delicious.
That was the
Shout
best.
out to Dada.
Yeah, that was insanely good.
Yeah. It's funny. You were like, what made you pick those? And it had nothing to do with the date. It was the list of things that were stuffed in and wrapped around the date that was so damn good. Like, as I stated, you could put all that in gravel and it would still be fucking delicious.
Yeah, it was good. It was amazingly good. What else?
I didn't try the pork bites or the burnt ends.
They were good. There was just we should have split one. There was just too much.
Yeah.
After I ate all that, I was like, shit, I'm stuffed now.
I was a little worried that it might be too little too fatty for me.
Oh, right,
So
that's
I didn't
true.
want to take
That's
any
true.
chances, especially on the road.
Right.
Got to be really careful. It's a lot easier at home when I have control over my food.
There was a bunch of stuff in that date that was. I mean, that date had everything in there, didn't it? Chorizo and.
Yeah, but it was a small amount of chorizo.
That's true.
You know what I mean? It wasn't the whole thing. Whereas the burnt ends were pretty
certainly
fatty.
tasted like it was very bad for you.
Yeah,
It was so delicious.
It was a little rough, but it was
Anything
delicious.
that good can't be good for you. Just no way.
Yeah. Well, I didn't
delicious.
drink those, so that helps. Helps on the stomach. I think she was a little disappointed when I was like, "No, sorry, just a virgin mojito for me, please."
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot you can't drink. I was gonna say I was calling you kind of gay for even drinking that in the first place, but then I was like, I was drinking white, so I got no,
Exactly. I was like,
I've got no room to talk.
It's a mocktail, but it's better than nothing,
A mocktail.
right? That's what they call them.
So what's in a mango mojito?
Mango puree, mint, soda water, lime, maybe a little sugar. It wasn't very sweet. I'm assuming all the sweetness came from the mango puree.
Yeah, I'm not a big mango fan. I never have been.
Yeah, so that's a shame that you're not too, because that tree in your yard is monstrous.
Yeah,
you
that's
could have
true.
free mangoes anytime
You
you,
keep
want.
forgetting. You got to remember to text someone when we go back there. Grab some.
Yeah.
And are we going to go back to that smokehouse place and get lunch?
If we have time,
Yeah,
we could
that
do that.
place was good too.
Yeah.
Shout out to them. What do they call it?
Tropical
Yeah, that
Smokehouse.
place is
Yeah.
great, man.
Yeah, they're doing well too. I mean, I was in Gainesville when a YouTube video popped up about them, about the chef. And I watched the video and I was like, wow, did they say West Palm Beach? I'm down there all the time. Looked at the location,
I'm surprised.
realized, shit, that used to be a Burger King. I know exactly where that is.
Right. I'm surprised they don't have more stuff like that popping up down by me. I don't know. Maybe Lantana's just not friendly to that kind of restaurant or something. I don't know. There's all kinds of like empty places right there on Ocean, Lantana. It'd be great if one of those places popped up there.
Right? Somebody will take it. We found a new subculture location last night on the drive back. I didn't realize that was there. I only knew about the one on Clematis Street. I think that one was down in Delray.
Oh, I think they got subcultures everywhere now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I only know of the two locations.
I think they got at least 4.
I used to love to, on Clematis Street, there's first of all, the library on Clematis is a really cool library, West Palm Beach City Library. Right across the street from there is a place that gives great foot massages, pretty cheap. And then right down the street on the same street, on the other side of the tracks off of Quadrille, is a subculture for the coffees.
Where do you get a foot massage?
It's called Amazing Foot. It's
It's a foot massage place.
Yeah, it's
Oh, no
right
kidding.
across from the library, right there on Clematis.
Wow, that seems really specialized for a storefront. Like that's the only thing they do. Foot
No,
massage,
they
huh?
do other massage too, but they
Okay.
specialize in reflexology, foot
Okay.
reflexology,
All right,
like
that's not so bad.
a Taiwanese foot massage.
Interesting.
They're really good at it. The best one I've ever had is in that location. And then afterwards, I would walk down to Subculture and get a double, like a latte or something with like 4 shots of espresso in it, and your heart's humming like a guitar string by the time you leave.
Right. Yeah, I should have got a coffee before.
And my mom lived on Evernia too, so like.
Oh, I was going to say, I thought that
all
was
of
maybe
down-
when you were working at Roxy's.
Yeah,
but
no,
right
it was
there.
all of downtown West Palm Beach. There was
Yeah,
very
that's one
convenient.
thing. I mean,
There's Publix right there. It's super easy.
I like where I live, but there's not very many places I could just walk to. I can ride my bike to a bunch of places, but
Yeah, that location she lived in was the best
Yeah.
location she ever lived in her
That was-
whole life. Like, 2
Right
blocks
downtown
from
West Palm,
everything,
yeah.
right downtown West Palm. 2 blocks from City Place, 2 blocks from Clematis, 2 blocks or 1 block from Publix.
yeah.
Yeah, everything she needed was right there for her.
And that was just like it was like an assisted living place too, right?
Not assisted living, but it was like a rent-controlled,
Okay. Gotcha.
for people on Social Security and stuff like that.
But not Section 8 or whatever.
No, not Section 8, no. Yeah, it was a brand new building, too, when she moved in. I got turned on to that place
Really?
remember when we were doing our medical horror story show, and I talked about having that dehisced wound that I had to have wound care for 9 months. The nurse that came out and did that, Hazel Roebuck, she's the one who told me about that place. So not only did she give me amazing medical care, but she actually found a place for my mom to live, which was really cool.
What else we got going on?
I don't know. I know I'm going to get poured on the way home today.
Well, it's got to hold off at least till I get my motorcycle. It looks all right now.
Yeah, I was talking more about more of the 4 o'clock time zone up near Gainesville.
that's
I was
true.
looking at the map yesterday, and it's
You
like,
know, and that's the thing. When it gets this hot, it's unavoidable. It's the the heat's going to force the moisture upwards, and sooner or later it's going to cool enough and come down as rain somewhere.
I had a funny thing happen to me last night. I was, at the hotel that I'm staying at, which is a tiny little place in Lantana called the Barefoot Mailman. They're making strides. They're getting better. You know what I mean? Yeah. But
that
they
place
have
has been there a long time.
It has, and they're doing renovations and remodeling. They have these really cool parrots and birds out on the little patio. And when I was checking in, they had a little reward sign, missing sign with a picture of one of the parrots. Somebody stole one of their birds. You dirty bastards.
Are you sure it was stolen and just didn't escape?
No, I'm pretty sure the cage had a lock on it and the lock had been busted. So,
okay. So I was going to say, because those parrots are pretty smart. You got to,
those parrots, they're pretty happy there, though. They've been there a long time. That's pretty. But what really cool happened last night, I went out to smoke a cigarette, and I'm sitting, I guess you call it a planter, a big concrete thing that it even had a little water feature in it, like a little fountain and everything. And as I'm sitting there smoking, I look over and I'm like, oh, that's cool. There's a little carved box turtle, and it looks it's really pretty and shiny. And then it blinks. I'm like, oh. And then I realize there's two of them, and one of them kind of hamming around in there. And this thing is not only a planter, but it's an open air terrarium for these two tortoises. It's really cool.
What were they, like little teeny? No,
they were big.
Oh.
They were fairly big. There was, and there was just enough height on, the soil in there was just low enough that they couldn't climb up out of it. But they had food and water and a little shelter to grow into. This morning when I got up, I went out to see where they were, and apparently one of the corners they can get like under the concrete, and they were huddled in there sleeping. It was pretty cool. This place has so many, pets, on site. Birds,
my landlord
turtles.
Keeps saying there's a turtle in our little koi pond thing there, but I'm like, I've never seen the thing, and and they have this big, log sticking out, so it's like, I think your turtle left. I don't think it's in there. I don't know. They keep buying these really expensive. What are they? Those koi goldfish or whatever.
Type of goldfish. Yep.
And they keep putting them in there, and they keep dying or something. And they're like, "Yeah, these things are really expensive." I'm like, "Well, stop."
Right. Some of those can live a really long time too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they've had
the ones at your house apparently.
Well, no, they've had some that were around for quite a while, and then for whatever reason, they eventually, something happens. They're like, "What happened to the fish?" Oh, they all died. What happened? We don't know. I don't know. Do they? I guess maybe. Because they don't live in a climate like ours naturally. They live in like the freaking mountains of China or something,
Japan.
Right? Or whatever.
Yeah.
Somewhere in the east. But, so maybe it's just they're not.
Maybe it's just too hot.
Yeah, at some point it just gets too hot and cooks them or something. Who knows? I know my pool is pretty freaking hot, and that little pond.
Koi pond is always shaded, though, isn't it?
Not always.
Does it never get direct sunlight?
It gets a little. So that could be.
That might be the factor.
Because I was just going to say, because that is a pretty small pond of water, and it probably gets really hot.
Right. Maybe if it's fully shaded and deeper, it would be better for them.
Yeah, probably. But I just think they finally got smart enough to stop wasting money on those fish, because they're expensive as hell, aren't they? Like a couple $100 a piece or something, right?
They can go up into the thousands.
Yeah.
Depending on the color pattern.
Yeah, my landlord, I don't know. The guy in front says that before I moved in, he had the whole yard set up to where it was like all zero-scaped, and you didn't even really have to water or anything, and it was all set up. And he says that I guess the guy, Tony, when he showed up, they redid everything and made it kind of like it is now, which is beautiful, I must say. It's gorgeous, but apparently they're always out there watering and, it's a lot of maintenance.
Yeah, it's lush, though. It is a tropical paradise there in that little backyard. It is pretty
nice.
All wonderfully hidden by the fence, too. It's great.
Oh, yeah. Well, the fence and the hedges and everything. But, it's the one good thing about having warm bathwater, pool temperature bathwater is you can go in the middle of the night. And it's like normally in the nighttime when you try to go in the pool, it's like, brrr. Now you just wade in. It's like, this is
right. He's not cold. Not cool until you get out.
Even then, it's not even
a little.
Yeah, because it's so warm. You're like, you just get out and you're like, yeah, okay. I mean, the natural evaporative effect. I mean, once you get dry it off, then it's like, okay, yeah, it's still warm.
Down here at least you do get a little bit of that ocean breeze. There's some days in Gainesville where the wind blows and it's like being in a convection oven.
Yeah,
the wind is just as hot as the still air, almost even worse.
And humid. You still got the humidity there too, right?
Oh yeah, it's a swamp.
See, that's the difference. It's like in Texas when they say it's hot. Like I've been there when I was a kid, And same thing, you could go and stand under the shade of a tree, but then the wind hits you, and it's like you just open an oven, but it's dry. It's not the humidity, so it is hot, but it's just not as bad. It's bad, but it's not as.
Yeah, it's all bad. Nobody likes 100-degree temperatures.
Yeah, but without the humidity, it's a lot easier to take. I've noticed, and I mean, I guess that means you're a lot more susceptible to dehydration or whatever from that too, because you don't realize how much fluid you lose and whatever, yada yada yada.
Yeah, the dry air just kind of wicks all the moisture out of your body, turns you into beef jerky.
Yeah. Which, I can't imagine if I had to live in that kind of climate. I mean, like my dad suffers as much as he does up in Boston. He has really, dry skin. He's always slathering lotion on his skin. I can't. I have a little bit of a problem even down here in the humidity. So, man, if I went to somewhere like Arizona, I'd be like a scaly snake or tortoise or something after about a month or two.
Look like a Gila monster in a month.
Yeah, it'd be scary. I had to be slathering on the moisturizer. Yeah, we got to make it out to. I want to go to Austin just to check out the world's best comedy scene. Supposedly now is what they're kind of booking themselves.
See the Brown Lake.
Yeah.
Right. Flirt with disaster and see if we get tempted to be murdered. How many guys have disappeared there? Is it like 12 now?
Oh, really? I didn't know
bodies found in and around that lake. Yeah.
And of course you got the Liver King trying to kill Joe Rogan. Stupid. You even know who the Liver King is?
I know who he is. I never knew he was after Rogan.
Apparently, just the last couple of days, he's been, and they arrested him for just basically talking shit. Which, look, I mean,
online threats. Is that what they're calling it?
Yeah, or something. They're just like, look, he didn't do anything. You can't arrest him for, he didn't do anything. He's just talking shit. But
back to our earlier discussion about preventing.
Yeah. But apparently he was talking some shit about, I'm going to get Joe Rogan. Why? I have no idea. I don't know what.
Why? But just because he called him out for not being natural,
possibly. I don't know.
Which I don't think anybody really ever thought he was. I mean,
no. But I mean, the guy is either legitimately insane or playing somebody insane. Right. Either way, he's got to step up his game. He hasn't been in the headlines for a couple of. Speaking of which, we got to drop a diss track.
We do. Yeah, we do have something for your listening enjoyment.
I see weird people. Put it on that beat. Oh, hey, mustard on the beat. Ho, Mike showed up quieter than a meat roll. Eyes so wide like a peephole. Face like he just smelled a bad burrito. He's sitting in a chair, whole brain on freeze mode. Podcast got a ghost, no cheat code. Talking about a co-host, where the speech go. Just breathing heavy, never speaking though. He's stuffing pizza in your face while everybody's watching. I walked in like, who hired this mess? Man blinking like he's signing a distress text. Pizza in his hand, crust on his vest. Still ain't said a word, that's a big red X. They said he cool, but he never reacts. A human glitch still stuck in the back. Mike in the room, but he ain't got that. And there's more personality than a laundromat. Bugged out look with a blank ass face. Background prop in a podcast space. Slice in his lap and a stare like a brick. He's a punchline, not a real sidekick. Blank, blank, blank stare got you fucked up. Blank, blank, everybody's watching deep throat crust. Why you posted like a bot, ain't you tired? Trying to cook up heat, but you ain't got no fire. Mike weird, he's not like us. Pizza in hand, he's not like us. Eyes wide open, he's not like us. Whole room quiet, he's not like us. He's not like us, no, he's not like us. He's not like us, no, he's not like us. He's not like us, no, he's not like us. Mike weird, he's not like us.
Now that you've heard it, props to Chris Pearl Music it's Pearl Flooring. Yeah, no, it's Chris Pearl Music and Pearl Flooring, our buddy up in Palm Bay that did the track for us. And I'm really impressed. I mean, you and I struggled with it for weeks, and then I gave the guy the idea, and he came back in a day.
Yeah.
There you go, done. I'm like, God damn, that's really good. So yeah, we're gonna drop this track, and we definitely think Mike is an Iranian, and we got problems with him. So, and with that, we should probably wrap it up.
Yeah, and as always, like, subscribe, and leave our comments, and particularly if you have any comments about this song that we're releasing. And of course, you can also call us and leave us a message at 904-549-9024.
And no, we're not in Jacksonville, even though
no, it's a Jacksonville number, but neither of us are in there. Yeah.
All right, guys. We'll see you next episode.
Yeah, thanks.